Good afternoon to all. I am Imelda Maria Wilson from Department of CSE in Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science. So today I am here to discuss on a topic LaTeX and also getting familiar with the LaTeX document Beamer. So in this section, we will discuss what is LaTeX, why we use LaTeX, how does LaTeX works, and also a setting up of LaTeX and a hands-on demo on LaTeX. And also we will see what is a Beamer, why we use Beamer, setting up of Beamer, and a hands-on demo on Beamer also. So let's start our presentation. Okay, what is LaTeX? So LaTeX is a document preparation system for producing professional looking documents. So it is not a word processor. It is particularly suited to producing long structured document and is very good at typesetting equations. So LaTeX is based on TeX, which is a typesetting system designed by Donald Knuth in 1978 for high quality digital typesetting. So TeX is a very low level language that computers can work with, but most people would find difficult to use TeX. So LaTeX has been developed to make it easier. So let's see why we use LaTeX. If you are used to producing documents with Microsoft Word, you will find that LaTeX is a very different style of working. Microsoft Word is actually what you see as what you get. This means that you see how the final document will look like as you're typing. So when working in this way, you will probably make changes to the document's appearance, such as the line spacing, headings, page breaks, etc. as you type. So with LaTeX, you do not see how the final document will look like while you are typing it. So this allows you to concentrate on the content rather than the appearance. It gives you a well-structured document. This LaTeX gives you a well-structured document, giving a professional look throughout the document. So sometimes you may find it difficult to type mathematical formulas, but LaTeX provides a convenient way for it. The contents, outline, etc. The foot, etc. can be easily generated in LaTeX, and also it is available as a free software for most operating systems. So how does LaTeX works? A LaTeX document is actually a plain text file with a .tex file extension. So it has a preamble, a front matter, a body, and a back matter. In the preamble, it is where you define the type of the document you are writing. You can give the language, and also you have several other elements also. Now the body is where you write your content. So it can be typed in a simple text editor such as Notepad, but most people find it easier to use a dedicated LaTeX editor. So as you type, you mark the document structure like the titles, the chapters, the subheadings, list, etc. with a tag that is known as commands in LaTeX. So when the document is finished, you can compile it. You can see these are the inputs, these are the these are the process, and also the output. When you finish the document, you just compile it. This means that converting it into another format. So several different output formats are available, but probably the most useful one is a portable document format, that is PDF, because it appears as it will be printed and can be transformed easily between computers. Now let's move into setting up of LaTeX. Okay. So internet provides a lot of online platforms to edit LaTeX such as Overleaf, Coding Ground, etc. And also many free LaTeX editors and text editors like GNU Emacs, etc. are available to install. But I am using MyTeX here. You can download MyTeX from www.mytex.org. Okay. So let's go to www.mytex.org, and here if you go to this download option, you will have a .exe file. Just click on download and just download it. Install it in your computer. So I have already downloaded this. So I'm going to search for MyTeX 2.9 in my start button, and you will see two files, that is MyTeX console and TeXworks. So I am opening TeXworks here. Okay. So this is the window that opens. So this is where we write our content. So now let's see a demo on LaTeX. Okay. So before starting the the thing that you should remember is that every later comment begins with a backslash. It is very important that every later comments begins with a backslash. So in the preamble, we are going to type the document we are writing, and also we will give some options like the language or other several other elements. So before writing, I'm going to start by writing document class. Okay. So this document class must appear at the start of every LaTeX document. You should not forget that a LaTeX document will start by using this command, that backslash document class. Okay, so in this curly bracket, I'm going to specify the document class. So here I'm using article. Okay, well, you have many other document classes like IEEE, IEEE TAN report, etc., which is used for many other purposes like report. You can use report for longer documents with chapters, etc. And proc is used for conference proceedings. You have book, slides, many other options. But anyway, I'm using article here. This is the necessary part. You can also give some other options, other document options, like you can select the text size. For you can use this option. If you want to select the paper size, you can use these options, etc. You can give whether the first page is the title page or a no title page. You can specify that. Anyway, this is the essential part. Anyway, I'm just going to set my document as an article, and I'm selecting the size A4. Okay, A4 paper, and by putting a comma I can specify other character I needed. So I'm using I'm giving the size of the document as 12 pt. I'm closing the document 12 pt. Now we are beginning our document by using the command backslash begin begin document. So if you begin something, then you must also end this. So I'm just ending the document. I'm just ending the document. So this is actually known as the environment. So LaTeX provides a concept of environment where you can perform an action on a block rather than just doing this action on a line. So whatever you write inside this begin and end will be considered as a document. Okay. So anything that we type before this begin document is known as preamble, and anything that we write after the end document is not actually considered. So now let's write a small article with the title and a single page. For giving the title, we are using the command backslash make title. So if you give a percentage sign before your command, then the command is not actually read by the compiler. Okay. So we are giving a title by using the command make title. Okay. So I'm just using another command title to give the title name for my document. So I'm giving name LaTeX demo. And what if you want to give a author name to this first page? So I'm using the command author. You can give any name, your author's name. I'm giving my name. Okay. By using date command, I'm specifying the date. By using today's command, I'm specifying this today's command will be automatically uploaded. But if I want to specify a specific date, you can specify that too inside this curly brackets. Now I'm just made this make title visible. Okay. Now we made a symbol page. Okay. Now let's save the file. Just going to file menu, you can save this file. Now by pressing Ctrl+T, we can simply compile this program. Also by pressing this play button, we will compile our document. Okay. So as you can see, this is our document with the title name LaTeX demo by the size 12 pt. This is an A4 size paper. You have the author's name as Imelda and the specified date also. So now we can divide our document into chapters if needed, or like into sections or subsections. So we use the command \section, subsection, subsection, paragraph, subparagraph, etc. for dividing our document. So I'm just using the command new page to begin in a new page. I'm just using the command section to begin a new section, and inside a curly bracket I'm giving the title of the section. I'm just giving introduction. This is the title to my new section in my new page. So if you want to give it any content, type it over here. I'm just typing this is the introduction part. Okay. And now I want to create another section, so I'm using the same command section, and inside this curly bracket I'm just giving the name to my section. Title, I'm just giving a title name. So I create a section with the name methods. So inside this methods I want to create some subsection. So I'm using the command subsection. Using the command subsection, I'm creating a subsection inside the section methods. So you can give any title you want. I'm just giving some content also. I'm creating another subsection with the title stage 2 and some content. Now I'm just giving a new section using the same command section. Okay, inside this I'm just giving a heading, results. After finishing this document, after finishing a document, so we should end this document. So now we wrote our content inside this begin document environment. Okay, now let's compare and see what will happen. So you can see this is the first page with the title and the author names, etc. Now we have the second page with the title introduction as the first section, then there is the content, then we have the second. So as you can see, the numbering, it just automatically updated. We haven't given a number, but we are using the command. Since we are using the command section, the numbering has just came automatically. So as a second method, second section, we have methods, and you can see the 2.1 as 2.1, which is a subsection of methods. We have stage 1 and its contents. Then 2.2 we have the stage 2 and its contents, and as 3 we have the results. Since we created 3 sections, we have first section as introduction, second section as methods, and third section as results. Now we will create a table of contents page. So if you are using the sectioning commands, it is very easy to generate the table of contents. So for this we can use the command / table of contents, where we want the table of contents to appear in our document. So often we will do it after the title page. Okay. So I'm using the command / table of contents. I'm just writing this table of contents in a new page. So I'm using the command new page. Now let's save and compile this. This is the first page. As you can see, we created the table of contents page automatically. We didn't give a heading to it, but it automatically updated. We have the introduction section, we have the method section, its subsections, and the result section, etc. automatically updated. And as you can see, the numbering is starting from the third page only. So we may want to give the numbering in the Roman numerals, or maybe in the Arabic numerals before the main document starts. So this will ensure that the main document starts from the page number 1 itself. Okay, so we are using the page numbering command for this. So page numbering can be switched using this command. We can switch between the Arabic and Roman numbers. So you should be aware up to where you want this Roman numerals to be present. So here I want this Roman numerals up to my table of contents page. So I am just writing after the first page, that is my title page. I am just using the command page numbering, and inside the curly brackets I'm mentioning the type, that is Roman. Okay, so I began a new page with the page numbering Roman, and here it contains the table of contents. So the page before this will also be automatically updated with the page numbering of Roman type. Now I want the content page to be updated with the page number in Arabic. So after the table of contents page, and after the new page that has been created, I'm using the command page numbering again. But this time I'm using the command, the option Arabic. Okay, now let's save and compile this. So this is our first page with the Roman numerals. Now when we see the contents page, we can see that it started from the first page itself, which means that the content page is having the page numbering as Roman numerals 2, and the main document starts with the Arabic numeral 1. Okay. This is the basic information of writing a LaTeX document that is used for writing an article which contains a title page, then some sections, some page which is some document which is divided into sections, and you can automatically update your contents page, etc. So now we saw how to create a small document using LaTeX. Now let's move to our next topic. What is a Beamer? So Beamer is a powerful and a flexible LaTeX class for creating presentations. So preparing presentations using Beamer is very different from making presentations with OpenFoxNote or Impress or Apple Keynote or the Microsoft PowerPoint, etc. So a Beamer presentation is created like any other LaTeX document. It has a preamble, a body, and this body contains the sections and the subsections, etc., and so on. So in each slide in a Beamer is known as frame, and we create a frame using the environment frame. Okay, now let's move to why we use Beamer. So the list of the features supported by Beamer is quite long. So the most important features in my opinion is that we can use Beamer with any of these options. Okay, so the standard commands of LaTeX still works here. Backslash table of the contents will create the table of contents, so the backslash section is still used to create structure, etc. And also you can easily create overlays and dynamic effects. Themes, there are themes which allow you to change the appearance of the presentation to suit a purpose. Then the themes are designed to be usable in practice. They are not just for show, that is they provide some a professional touch to your presentation. Okay, so you have control over the most minute detail like the layout. Okay, the layout, the colors and the fonts, etc. used in this presentation. Then a special style file allows you to use the LaTeX source of a presentation directly in other LaTeX classes like article or book. So this makes it easy to create presentation out of lecture notes or lecture notes out of presentations. So the final output is typically a PDF file. So your application for this format exists for virtually every platform. So when bringing your presentation to a conference on a memory stick, you do not have to worry about about which version of the presentation program might be installed there. Also, your presentation is going to look exactly the way it looked on your computer. You may face these issues while using this Microsoft PowerPoint, etc. Now let's see setting up of Beamer. There are two ways to install Beamer in MyTech TechWorks. Either install it during the compilation or install it manually. So we'll be looking into a manual installation of Beamer. So you can follow these steps for installation of any packages as well. For this, I'm opening the MyTech console window. I'm just opening this. Okay, now you can see this packages option. Just select and just check for updates. Now just go to the Beamer package. Here it is. So when you click on it, if the package is not installed, then this plus button will be activated, which is used to install. Here you can see the minus button is activated, which is to uninstall, since I had already installed this package here. So if okay, you can see the installation date here. So if I'm just going to install a package which I haven't been installed already, okay, you can see a plus button here, and if you press it, then this dialog box appears. If you click on OK, then it will be downloaded, and it will be downloaded and then updated in your MyTech editor. You can also download this Beamer package from internet. If you are not connected your PC into any network, then you can search for this package Beamer from some other computers, and you can download it. Download this from CT. I am using the CTAN. Just download this file. Here a beamer.zip file is downloading. Okay, if you click on the base, then you can see the Beamer class have been downloaded, and also you can see many of these STY files. These are the options that are available with the Beamer class. So if since it is an .sty file, then you need not to install it in your computer. Okay. Now if it was a .ins file, then you must have downloaded. You should have installed it in your computer. Now you just simply cut this and paste it in the file where in MyTech where the classes have been downloaded. Just continue. Now let's see a hands-on demo on Beamer presentation. For this I am using the TechWork again. Okay, so in format I'm just adding the line numbers, and in syntax coloring the LaTeX option. It's already selected. Okay, so to start a presentation we need to set the document class to Beamer. So I'm setting my document class to Beamer. By simply typing this, the Beamer package will be called into our program. Okay. Now we will select a theme for our presentation using the command \use theme. Okay. So these are the types of themes that are available in Beamer. Here I am using. Let's use Cambridge US. Okay, now we will select the color theme for our presentation using the command \use color theme. Use color theme, and these are the available color themes in Beamer. So I am using. You can use any color theme. Well, I am using Crane here. Okay. Now to complete this preamble, we will add our next command, begin document. Okay, so inside this begin document we are starting our first frame. Each slide in a Beamer is known as frame, so we are starting our first frame. But what if you want to give a name, a title to this presentation which should be visible in every slides? In that case, we will be giving the title name and the details before we are beginning a new frame. So here I am giving the title as Beamer demo, and I'm giving the author name. Okay, well done. Now if you want to give something, like if you want to give the subtitle, you can give that. If you want to give the institute name, you can give that. Well, I'm giving the date too. Okay, so you can give any information you want. Now we are going to begin our first frame. So for that I'm creating begin frame environment, and also I'm ending this environment so that we won't forget about ending this environment. So inside the environment, inside this frame environment, our first slide, first frame, we are giving the information about this Beamer presentation, that is the title, the author's name, etc. Okay, so we are setting this as the title page. So I'm using the option title page command to make this as the title page. Okay, now let's create a table of contents page. I've already shown you why we use the table of contents command and how to create this. So I'm beginning another frame. I'm beginning another frame and I'm beginning it. Okay, so I'm beginning another frame. So inside this I want to give a name for this. I want to give a heading for this frame. So I use the title frame. So I use the command frame title to give the name to give a name to the frame. So here I'm just typing outline. Outline is where the contents come. The contents is typed. So I gave a name frame title, gave a name using the command frame title, and then I'm just setting this page as the frame where the contents will be visible. So I'm using the command table of contents here. Okay, now this frame will contain the information about our presentation, about the contents of our presentation. Okay, now let's begin another frame. This is where my content starts. So I want to give this frame a title, that is Introduction to Beamer, and I want this title to be visible in the content page. So that I'm using the command section and giving the name I wish. Now this name will be visible in our contents page. But if you want to create the title, if you want to give headings to the frame, we should again use the frame title command. Okay, so I'm using the frame title command. Okay, now I want to give a subsection to this. I want to give a subsection to my Introduction to Beamer slide frame. So I'm using the command subsection. Now in the contents of page, my first heading will be Introduction to Beamer, and its subsection will be Beamer. Okay, that's why I gave the same name of the subsection to the frame title also. Now let's write some content. We finished another frame. So this is a basic presentation. So let's end this document and just compile it and see how it worked. I'm saving it and I'm compiling. Now we have a presentation with the first slide as title Beamer demo, author name, email and date. And in this presentation you have this author's name at the end of every slide, and it's the title name and the date also. And also this beamer, not only beamer, in every later commands, this page numbering will be set automatically. Okay, so this is our outline, the table of content page. This was, okay, as you can see. Okay, so here we wrote the section with the command section. We wrote introduction to beamer, and that was the first content in this outline frame. And as a subsection, we created another title, beamer. This beamer came as a subsection to this introduction to beamer section. Now this is the beamer slide. So it had the title that we gave, and also the content we typed. So to show the presentation, we need to download the project as a PDF and open it in a PDF reader, and you can put it in a full screen view. So I have done my PDF. I have done my presentation using this beamer. This is the presentation I have done using beamer. So if you see, okay, so if you see, you will notice at the bottom right corner, beamer has given some navigation buttons. The first one and its arrows allows us to navigate between the slides. The second one lets us navigate between the frames, and the third one makes us navigate between the subsections, and the fourth one between the sections. Okay. Now let's move into some other features of beamer. So what if you want to make this title an italic one, or you want to make it a bold one? So what will you use? For that we use some commands like this. These are the font effect commands. Okay, so I want to make this title a bit bold. So inside this bracket, inside this curly bracket, I'm writing another command, text BF, and I'm writing, and I'm putting this title inside a curly brackets. So you can use any of these commands to get this output. Okay, now let's see, let's save and compile this to see how it worked. Now as you can see, the title is displayed in bold letters. Okay, now let's move into some more features of in this beamer presentation. Okay, so the first one we are going to discuss is list. Okay, so lists are a common way to present information in presentations, and they are very easy to set up. So we use just like in the normal LaTeX document, we are using the commands itemize and enumerate environments to create list. So let's use itemize to create a list. So we are creating a new frame. Okay, so I'm giving a command subsection so that it will appear in your contents page subsection, and I'm naming it as list. Okay, now I'll be giving a frame title too. So to create a list, we are using the environment itemize. Okay, so let's begin our environment. Begin itemize. Okay, let me end it also. Itemize. Okay, so inside this, whatever you give inside this using the command \item will be seen as a list in your presentation. Okay, for example, I'm giving here item 1 and item 2. Okay, so whatever I give inside this environment itemize using the command item will be listed in your presentation. Okay, let's see this. Let's move into a list. Okay, as you can see, our content 1 and 2 have been listed in the frame called list. Now what if you want to next list within our list? Then you can call this environment again inside inside your begin itemize before your end itemize. Okay, so I'm again calling this itemize environment. Inside this, I'm writing some more contents using item command. Okay, I'm ending my itemize. Okay, now let's run this. Okay, let's move to list, and as you can see there we had some sub list to the content list, to the list 2. Okay, so as you can see we have some sub list, we have some sub points to the list 2. Okay, if you want to give a sublist to the content 1, then you must start the begin itemize environment after this one. Okay, now let's do it in an enumerate environment. The enumerate environment is similar to the itemize environment, except it numbers the item. Okay, for this I'm just changing our environment into enumerate. Now let's save and compile this. Let's go to list. You can see now we just numbered our 2 entries. Okay, so now if you want to change the numbers into Roman numerals, then you only need to add a capital I in square brackets at the end of this begin enumerate command. So I'm just adding I. Okay, if I'm adding a small letter I, okay, we will see. If I'm adding a small letter I, then the Roman numerals will be using the lower case. Change it into a capital one. Okay, we are changing it into capital I. Then let's see what's the difference. We're going to list. Here, as you can see, the Roman numerals changed is visible as uppercase. Okay, now if you want to surround the numerals in parentheses, then you just only need to surround our command, our letter I in a parenthesis. Okay. Okay, we'll be going to a list. You can see this Roman numerals is surrounded by parentheses. Okay. Now let's talk about columns. To organize the text into columns, we use the columns environment. So then to start a column, we use the command \columns command, which is followed by a width. To start with, we will begin a frame. So I am going to give a subsection here called columns and a frame title too. So inside this, I wanted to create two columns into my presentation. To start with column, I'm using the environment column. So I'm beginning my environment columns and I'm ending it too. Okay, so inside this, I'm starting the command used for column, that is for each column in a presentation you need to give this command column. Okay, so here I'm creating 2 columns. If you want to create 3 columns, then you should give this command 3 times. But here I'm creating only 1 column. So using the command without the S, then without the S column. Okay, then inside this curly bracket I'm giving a width. So I'm using the size 0.5 as a text width. So I'm specifying that this is the text width. So you can type whatever you needed. Now I need to create another second column. So You can create as much as column you need. If you want to create 3 columns, then you can give 3 times this command. Now, I already entered the column, I already entered the frame. Now let's save and compile it. Okay, let's move to column slide. And you can see this is the first column and here is the second column. If you want to add a second title, second line to any of your content in a presentation, in a frame, you can use the command new line, and you can type what you need, whatever you need. Okay, now it came as the second line. Now let's see how to add pictures to a frame. So for adding pictures to a frame, we use the environment figure. First, let's begin our frame. Inside this, I'm just giving my subsection name. Frame title 2. In order to add a picture to a frame, I'm using the environment figure. So I'm just beginning my environment figure. Let me in that too. Okay. So actually you don't need to load up the graphics package into this because Beaver automatically loads it. So we are not going to load it further. Okay, so we will also add the center environment so that the image will be put right into the center of the frame. So just I'm adding the center environment also. So I'm adding begin center. So inside this, I'm using the command include graphics to include the figure in our presentation. So inside this, after this command include graphics, inside X square bracket, we are specifying the width of the picture, that we are going to upload into this. I'm just giving a width 0.15, which is a text width. Now inside this curly bracket, I'm just giving the name of my pictures, a.png. So I already have this picture a.png in the folder where I saved my tech, this example to tech. So here it is a.png. I have already saved it in the folder where I already saved this tech work. Okay. So if I want to add a caption to this figure, if I just wanted to add a caption to this figure, then I'm using the command caption, and you can write the content in the curly brackets. Okay, I'm just saving this and compiling. Okay, let's move to as you can see, what all things we just. Okay, what all things we added as the subsection is visible in this content page. You can see this. Whatever we added by using the command subsection is listed here. So let's choose this picture frame, and you see the picture which I uploaded just came right into the center of the presentation, and also with the caption figure 1. Okay, so if you want to give whatever title for whatever caption you need. Next, we will look at the description environment, which is a type of list environment. So here we will use the same item command, but this time we will pass it as an argument in square brackets. So let's begin a frame, and I'm creating a subsection, naming description. Okay, I'm just giving a frame title to Now we will begin the environment description. Okay. So inside this, I'm using the same command item, but in this item itself, I'm giving some contents. I'm just giving an argument in square brackets. Okay. For example, I'm just typing L A N. Okay. After that, I'm just giving the full form of LAN. Okay, I'm just ending description environment. Okay, I'm just ending my frame. Okay, now let's run this. Let's go to description. You can see that the LAN is typed in a dark blue color. It is just highlighted, and this one is passed as an argument in the item command. So it just came as an highlighted one, and its expanded form is given just after it in black color itself. So this is why we use the description environment. Now let's see tables. So tables in LaTeX can be created through a combination of the table environment and tabular environment. So the table environment part contains the caption and defines the flow for our table. That is, where in our document the table should be positioned and whether we want it to be displayed center. So we use the commands backslash caption and backslash label commands in the same way as for pictures. Okay, so the actual content of the table is contained within the tabular environment. Okay, so let's begin our new frame, and I'm just giving another subsection, tables. I'm just giving same frame title too. It is not necessary to do all these steps, but I'm just showing how to create. Okay, so I'm using two environments here. First one is table environment. I'm just beginning the new environment, that is table, and I'm also beginning another environment for creating table, that is tabular. Okay, I'm beginning tabular. Okay, so after tabular, I'm just giving three commands in curly brackets. Okay, first one is a vertical line, then L, small letter L, then another vertical line and the letter C, and another vertical line and the letter R, and another vertical line. Okay, so why I put this vertical lines is because this vertical line separates the columns of a table. These are passed as an argument to the tabular environment, so it will just create separation in the columns of a table. Okay, so let us tell whether we want to align the content to the left, to the right, and to the center. Okay, so for each column it will tell us where we want to align our content. So there should be one letter for every column and a vertical line in between them or in front of them if you want to create a vertical line to be shown in the table. Okay, so this is how the column is created. Now we want to create a row. For row we are using the command H line. This command separates the horizontal line. I'm just giving three headings. Okay, so as you can see here, we used the vertical lines for row separations. Okay, but when it comes to the contents of the table, we are not using a vertical line for the separation of columns, but we are using the ampersand sign for the separation of columns. We want to show the end of a row. So we are using the command for new line, that is double backslash. Above we saw another command for creating a new line, but here we are using a double backslash command only. Okay, so now let's try the second row. Before that, I am just adding two row separators. Okay, now let's give some. I'm just giving some random names. Using ampersand, I'm separating my column. Okay, using double backslash, I'm just ending the row and just using the command hline for the new horizontal line. 0, okay, 6. Okay, I'm just ending my table with another vertical line. Sorry, another. Okay, I'm ending my table. I'm ending my table with another horizontal line. Okay, so let's end our tabular environment. Before ending our table environment, I'm just adding a caption to my table. Okay, I'm using this caption command for it. We used this before for writing the caption for a figure. Okay, so I'm just giving some caption for my table. Okay, now I'm ending my table environment and also my frame. And now let's save and compile this. Okay, let's move to tables. So you can see I created a table. So here I gave 3 columns with titles, name, age and class, and it was separated by 2 horizontal lines. You can see here I used 2 horizontal lines before these 2 rows. So this is how it came, and I gave a caption table, that is kids info. So this is how a table will be produced in your Beamer presentation. So one of the ways Beamer lets us display information on slides is using blocks. So to do this, we use the block environment. Okay, so first let's create new frame. Okay, now I'm just giving the adding a new subsection. Frame title 2. Now let's begin a block environment. Okay, so we began a new block environment. Now inside this curly bracket, inside another curly bracket, I'm just giving the block's title. So here I'm just typing Beamer. So this will be the block's title. Now we can write the content for our block. Okay, so I'm just ending the block. Okay, I'm just ending frame 2. Okay, let's move to block. As you can see, it just created a box in your blocks frame. What we give after the environment just appeared as the heading, and the content just came under the block. Okay, so this is where we use block. Now there are quite variations of the block environment that helps us to produce blocks for different purpose. The first one is alert block. So let's change this block environment to alert block. So I'm just changing the title. Okay, so I'm just ending the alert block. This is the environment. We will write the warning, etc. The first it was a yellow color box. Now it automatically changed into a automatically changed into a red color box, showing that it's a warning. Okay, that's why we use a alert block. Now we can also use an example block. For this, we are just changing the environment into example environment. I'm just ending the same environment. Okay, now you have a green box that is used for example. So these are the standard options for making a professional presentation. Okay, now if you want to give a definition, then we are using the environment definition. I'm just ending it too. Okay, now let's save and run. So this is same as the general block. It is in a yellow color itself. If you're choosing some other theme, something like Cambridge US, it will be in blue color. So it will change according to the theme you select. But for example and for alert block, it will always be a red and a green block. Okay. So now let's move into highlighting of important sentences. So in a presentation, it is a good practice to highlight the important points to make it easier for your audience to identify the main topic. For this, we are using the command \alert. Let's see. I'm just beginning my new frame. Okay. And then I'm just giving a new subsection. Frame title 2. I'm using the command alert to highlight a part. Inside the curly brackets, I'm giving the sentence of the word which I want to highlight. Now let's end our frame. Let's save and compile this. So now you can see we just highlighted the BML word in this sentence using the command \alert. Finally, I want to discuss adding hyperlinks to our presentation. So what if we want to refer in a frame to another frame in our presentation? So this is where hyperlink helps us. So before we can create any hyperlinks, we need to tag the frames we want to link by using the label command. So we will add a label to the table stream. So here, after this table, I'm just giving a label. You can give any label. I'm just giving here columns. Tables. Okay, and also in picture frame also, I'm just giving a label. So here I'm using the command hyperlink. After the end figure, I'm using the hyperlink command. I'm just writing this after the end figure because this is our environment. I'm just doing this after finishing our environment. Okay. I'm using the command hyperlink to insert a link. So in the first set of curly brackets, we enter the label of the target frame. So from here I want to move to the table frame, and here I gave the label as tables. So I'm just giving the same label here also. The label which I gave on the other frame, that is tables. Okay. Now in the second set, this is the second set of curly brackets. We will add the text that we want to be clickable. Okay, I'm just doing the same in my tables frame also. Okay, we'll go to the picture slide. So as you can see, this text is now clickable. If I click it, it will go to the table frame. Okay, so there is another clickable link. So if I click here, it will go to the picture frame. Now what you want to add a button. So Beamer also allows us to use buttons. To do this, we simply add a button command into the second set of the curly brackets in hyperlinks. Okay. So I'm using this is where we wrote the hyperlink. So I'm just writing the command Beamer button, and inside the curly brackets I just gave this sentence, click here. I'm doing the same for this too. Okay, now let's compare and see what will happen. And you can see now we created a button here. So if we click here, then it will go to the tables frame, and if we click here, it will go to the picture frame. So with that note, I'm just concluding my presentation. So I hope that it will be useful for you someday. So thanks for being here. Thank you.